Well, welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. I'm Biola Labi and
I'm Veronica Odeka. Welcome back.
Thank you. Our next guest, a seasoned investment banker, a CNBC analyst, and co-founder of Commercial Partners, an investment banking firm that recently developed a retail investment mobile app called TradeFi. Tosin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Biola.
Is it TradeFi?
TradeFi.
TradeFi. Okay. So, I mean, I'm excited to have you on the show. I'm always excited to have anything that has to do with technology and money. Technology and money on the show. But I wanted to start with actually some of the work you guys are doing as an organization. And just start out with, tell us a little bit about how the investment forum went. I know you guys had an investment forum recently.
Yeah.
So tell us about that and how that went.
Okay, so thank you, Biola. It was earlier in the year. It was an investor conference. Basically, the motive behind it was to enlighten the public, particularly the retail investing community, about the trends, the macro trends in Nigeria, and how it impacts on their businesses, how it impacts on their wealth, and obviously the outlook, especially as we go into the election cycle. So for us at Commercial Partners, we believe that that is one of the ways by which we can contribute to the development of the financial market. And it's going to be an annual event.
How was the event? Because, I mean, earlier this year, there was some talk about sort of like capital flight, FDI leaving the country. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of positive news around the international investment community and also even local investments. I mean, people were pulling money out of different assets classes that they were holding. How did it go, and what were the outlooks that you got, especially now that we are going into the election season? I remember the theme was recession.
Yeah, recession to election.
To election, yes, that was the theme. So what was, I mean, I'm sure the theme attracted a lot of people because everyone wants to talk about coming out of the recession. Everyone also wants to talk about the election. Those are the two, money and politics are the two things. So what was the sentiment around the conference, and what do you believe investors left with and also some of your clients left with?
So we felt that there are two major events that were meant to happen in the last 1 year. One was the recession that we encountered in 2017 and 16, all right, and the fact that yes, we came out of recession earlier this year. So for us, it was important that we mentioned that okay, as we move into election, there could be that oppression in the market that could, give way for some capital flight, like you mentioned, and we've experienced that. However, it was important for us to say to the local investor community and the foreign investors that in spite of the election cycle, Nigeria will still be the same country. And again, the stories in Nigeria is actually very interesting. I'm talking about the macros right now. So we have crude oil prices staying above $80, and we have a production level moving away from 1.7 to 1.8, and we hope that it could get to 2 million barrels. All right, so all of these are stories that you would like to push out to the public, and to say that in spite of the political terrain, it's important that we stay calm and expect that things will turn out positively.
So with that, so people left so you felt like people left the investment forum buoyant about investing in Nigeria, or still tentative about investing in Nigeria?
So I would say that people left the conference feeling positive about Nigeria. Not only did we talk about the country and the economic outlook of the country, we also talked about the products that we recently developed in the market, which we believe that would change the terrain in the financial landscape. And that's the TradeFi that you mentioned. So we feel that the outcome of the conference was positive, and we expect that going forward, people will feel a lot more comfortable about investing in Nigeria.
So tell us about TradeFi. I still have some more questions about the investment forum and about investment, but let's talk about TradeFi. Tell us about TradeFi. How does it work? Well,
TradeFi is, let me say with all humility, it's the first of its kind. Okay. So it's a disruptive, innovative platform. For a long time, the the fixed income market, which is basically the market for government securities. I don't know how much you know about government securities. So government securities are basically Treasury Bills and federal government bonds. So basically what that means is you are lending to the sovereign. So you're lending to the federal government of Nigeria, which is a lot more less.
The one asset class Nigerians love the most.
Yes.
Well, so that's the story. You would expect that a lot of Nigerians should embrace that asset class. However, because of lack of knowledge, a lot of people do not understand.
It always boils down to
Exactly.
this.
Every time I've talked to investors, they're like, Bill, I'm putting my money in Tbills. I love this idea, but hey, I know the return on this. So there is a safety in Treasury
Maybe
bills.
you've been talking to the very few savvy investors.
Maybe. Damn, those savvy people. I have to stop talking to savvy people. No. But I mean, maybe let's not take anything for granted. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about sort of T-bills and some of the other investment asset class that would be available through TradeFi, because there are a lot of people that don't have access to Treasury bills. Let's not take that.
So Treasury bills, like I mentioned, is a short-dated instrument. So basically what you're doing is you're lending to the federal government of Nigeria.
Yes.
So you could also take that to be, a sentimental reason in investing in it, because you see yourself participating or contributing to the development of the country. So that's Treasury bills at the short end of the curve. That means it's short time.
Yes.
Then
And when the short term, we mean 90 days, you can go,
Exactly.
you can do 90 days, you can do 6 months, you can do up to a year.
Yeah.
But this is
Absolutely.
also, one of the asset classes that has a very decent return on investment, and therefore it's very attractive to savvy people, like you said.
You seem to know a lot about
No.
it. So
I just wanted to make sure that we explained it very well. Carry on.
You did a good job. And you're right about that. But again, if you want to take it further down from, just 1 year, you want to move forward to 2 to 20 years, then you begin to talk about the federal government bonds.
Yes.
Okay, which is a lot more riskier. But again, you could take some comfort from the fact that you are investing in the development of the country.
And long term.
Yeah, the longer term.
Yes.
So the platform basically allows people, all right, on the go, real-time, online real-time, to participate in the activities in the fixed income market, to participate and buy Treasury bills as and when you feel like, all right, and you could also, sell that Treasury bills as and when you feel like.
As an individual, so do you
As an
have to be
individual.
at least knowledgeable to a certain extent to be able to utilize this app to?
I'm happy you're asking that question, Veronica. So there's some sort of myth around, fixed income instruments.
There's myths about investing, period.
Yeah,
It's like the most intimidating things for people to do.
So for us, we felt that it was important to close the knowledge gap. Institutional investors, foreign investors, the banks, they've taken the shine because they understand that market.
Yes.
It is a traditional asset class, fine, but it is an asset class that not a lot of people understand it. So they leave it to the specialized people or specialized investors who they feel that they understand the market.
That is true.
So with TradeFi, we are beginning to bridge that gap. So what we want to do is, one of the major features in TradeFi is education. So if you go onto the platform, we have a window for education. So what we've done is we've partnered with a South African, company called ICAP Trading Center. So they are responsible to champion that cause, to educate Nigerians on how to invest in the Treasury bills here and federal government bonds. So when you log onto the system, you will see a window that will take you through understanding the basic things in fixed income. So we were not taking it down to an experience or a pro like Tosin. Will make you understand the basic things that you need to understand.
So basically,
about
your
fixed
money, your
income.
control. What you're saying is that you are
Absolutely.
now having the control to monitor your money and actually make smart decisions on your own. Not necessarily always just trusting it to your financial investor and hoping that they would be able to tell you what to do.
That's a journey of 1,000 miles, and it's not going to start. It's not going to happen just like that. But again, you will be excited that you're learning something. Okay.
So just to get back to the app. So you download the app. The app is available
on Android.
on
for
Android.
now,
So it's an Android app, and you download the app. Do you connect it to your financial institution? How do you, I mean, first of all, how much do you need to put in your account?
So the minimum amount is 100,000 naira. All right. So
and this is different from the typical, if you were going through an institution. How is that different? Like,
so what we've done is using technology, all right, leveraging on technology to bring everybody, to take out, you know, the cumbersome process of going to a relationship, a manager in the bank, or having to call up your account officer and say to him that, okay, I want to buy, you know, federal government securities. And he says, okay, you can submit or send your instruction or send your form or wait for an auction. So we're taking all that out of the way. On your phone, all right, you get to participate in the fixed income market.
Okay.
We bring you close to the market.
Okay.
So on the platform, what we've done is we've partnered with Stanbic IBTC nominee, all right? So you would ask yourself, why should I go onto this platform for commercial partners? Who are those guys? Okay. So what lends credence to the platform is our partnership with our custodian, that's Stanbic IBTC nominees. So when you transfer money or when you invest on that platform, you get a notification from Stanbic nominees saying that, yes, you've invested in this certain, you know, instrument. Okay, so you get your prices being shown or being displayed on the platform as well. Outside of education, we decided that we should take it further, all right, into simulation. Simulation is meant to, you know, give you some sort of morale boost or confidence boost. All right.
So you've gamified it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what that does is you've learned about the fixed income, you know, Treasury Bills and federal government bonds. You want some sort of, you know, some excitement. All right. So that takes you into simulation. You feel more comfortable in investing in that, you know, in government securities. After simulation, we take you into activation. That's when you begin to put in your money into it.
But where does the money come from? Like, I can't put my money into, like, how do I put my money into the app?
So basically what you need to do is to fund your wallet.
Okay, so I have to fund my wallet.
Yeah.
And you're saying I can only do that if I have an IBTC account?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can
if I
make
had
any
any
account?
account.
Any account.
Okay.
We felt that, you know, partnership with IBTC was significant to, you know, to the brand TradeFi. Okay. So we have 4 unique selling points. Okay. So one is safety. Every investor out there would embrace the fact that his investment is safe.
How do we know it's
do
safe?
that?
Exactly. When you get that notification from Stanbic IBTC nominees.
But how are you regulated? If you're telling me that you're safe,
Yeah.
how is that regulated? Is the CBN your regulator? Who's your regulator?
Fantastic question. So our regulator, we have CBN, we have SEC, that's Securities and Exchange Commission, and we have FMDQ as well.
Okay.
FMDQ have gone through the screening of the platform, and they're really excited about it. They've endorsed it.
Okay.
You see, this is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it has to start with the right step in the right direction. For them, it's important that we develop the retail market. In 2015, October precisely, JP Morgan, all right, delisted Nigeria from the JP Morgan bond index. When that happened, a lot of foreign investors took their money out of the country. That shook us a bit, and it affected the FX market as well. If we have a diversified, all right, investor base, that means we have the retail community participating in the investment base in Nigeria. When any foreign community decides to take their money out of the country, we would have people embracing and taking up those, you know, instruments.
You're very sentimental about sort of like investing in Nigeria, and you're really tugging at people's heartstrings here, which is fine. But I think for people too, it's almost sort of like, yes, I love Nigeria, but I also love my purse. So let me make sure that my wallet is safe and my purse is safe. Are you guys insured? What is the insurance policy? I mean, because also really remember, Nigerians are very leary of sort of like
the risk.
The risk, and I mean, so I want you to talk more about how you do.
So basically, you're investing in the local market is risk-free. I mean, we say that investing in the sovereign is risk-free. If you invest in savings or fixed deposit, there's some element of risk in it, because basically what you're doing is you're investing, or rather, you're taking a position of investing in the bank.
Yes.
So if the bank goes belly up, you could lose your money.
Exactly.
But when
banks also have a certain insurance, and there is insurance for
I don't know
banks.
if you lost your money in early 90s to, permit me to mention names, Fortune banks and all those banks.
But that's
So-
also why we had the regulation. That's why we have.
But you have the
that's why
NDIC.
the NDIC
The
now.
NDIC, you have to go and queue to have your money, but you're not going to get the full amount.
So there is no insurance on TradeFi. You're basically saying that there are certain risks to investing.
No, you need to understand what you're investing in on TradeFi.
Okay.
You are not investing in TradeFi. TradeFi is just a platform.
TradeFi is the platform, but
Yeah.
you're still investing in the different instruments, and so there's no insurance to do that. You're basically assuming the regular risk, which is fine.
No,
It's
you're
just
invested in the sovereign,
Yes.
in the federal government of Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria will not go belly up. If Nigeria goes belly up, the last resort will
So
be...
the only investments you can do is the fixed income investments.
For now, yeah.
Okay, so there are no mutual funds, there's nothing
Absolutely.
else, but they will come later.
They will come later. In fact, what we're actually looking at is the green bond. I don't know if you've heard about the green bond. The green bond, all right, introduction is coming into the country
Yes,
right
yes,
now.
yes.
All right,
The
I think
NSC just-
exactly.
yes.
They did, I think, sometime in 2017.
Yeah.
So the exciting thing about the green bond is because the green bonds they're meant to address environmental hazards. All right, they're also meant to address infrastructural deficit. So when you go to buy a green bond, you're excited because you feel that you're contributing to the development of the country or addressing environmental hazards. So if I came home and I said to my wife that, see, I've not only bought a bond that will yield better interest than savings and fixed deposit, but I see myself sentimentally contributing to the development of the country, you will want to do it. So to make it very, very clear, TradeFi is just a platform.
I got it.
Investing in Treasury Bills and government security, which is a lot less riskier than savings and fixed deposit.
Yes.
But which is perfect. I mean, what you're saying is perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that we say at the end of the day, every investment has some risk.
Risk,
So every time
Absolutely.
you invest,
No matter
you're
how-
taking a
yeah.
risk.
Absolutely.
And that TradeFi doesn't offer any insurance for you. You as an investor still take that risk, which
Yes.
is, that's all I wanted to make sure we said. Are you saying that?
No. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
Every investment, no matter U.S. Treasury, for instance, it has some element of risk.
Yes, everything.
All right, so your prices could go up
Yeah,
and go
down,
down.
yeah.
But I'm saying that it has minimal risk.
Yes.
And we're also selling...
That's the word I needed him to do.
Yes. So it's safe to say that you're just the custodian that are handling.
exactly. So the
exchange.
custodian will handle the safety.
Yes.
So your money is not with us.
Yes.
Your instrument is not with us.
Got
It's
it.
with the custodian.
And then you get the certificate from
Absolutely.
them.
You get a statement.
So
from them.
quickly, the one thing about institutional investing in fixed income, a lot of times there is a minimum that you have to invest. You're saying that for 100,000 Naira, people can get on this platform.
Absolutely.
How are you able to, I guess, get over that minimum that a lot of institutions usually require?
By a higher amount. So you could see TradeFi as an aggregator as well. All right.
So you're like crowdfunding funds and bringing all these people's money together.
yeah.
That's why I said it's disruptive, it's innovative.
And there's nothing
So
like
then
it,
basically
like
everyone gets to participate because other people are participating.
Absolutely.
For this platform to work, how many subscribers do you need? And how many people do you actually need to be actively engaged in this to actively have 100,000 for this to really start to really bring in the type of returns that make sense for people?
It's so surprising that you have a lot of people with 100,000 out there. The working class, bracket in Nigeria is huge. The demographics in this country is, like a pyramid.
Yes.
We are bottom heavy.
Yep.
Every working class citizen in this country is looking out to, have an extra, source of income. And that's where TradeFi comes in. Okay, so if you're working at work and you understand how TradeFi works, or rather you understand how fixed income market works. So basically what you do is you could go on your mobile phone, look at it, take a view on, the interest rate in the country, or invest.
What is the interest rate today on some of these?
So we are looking at a neighborhood of 15%.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So that's important for people
Yeah.
to know. So just give us an example. If I invest 100,000 naira
Yeah.
in Tbills
Yeah.
or in bonds, and I reinvest. So do you automatically reinvest for people when the terms are
No,
over?
it's your decision.
Okay. You continue to manage that. So you have to be actively engaged in this.
Yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
no automation, but
So-
do you give notifications saying, hey, you're going to expire in 30 days. You need to renew.
What do you want
Maybe
to do
I
with
should.
your
I need to download
Yeah,
this.
Do you have an Android?
I have an Android phone.
So another thing, because we understand that Nigerians are highly interactive. Okay, so we have, you know, an interactive forum there where you could seek for advice, you know, you could interact with other people.
Okay.
All right, so it becomes more interesting. TradeFi, again, is not a platform for just execution. It's a platform for some sort of experience. All right, so you experience, you know, what is happening in the financial market. A lot of, particularly the middle class Nigerians, all right, they shy away from, you know, gathering knowledge in the financial market. And we're here with TradeFi to help them to solve that problem. And of course, TradeFi is just a tool to support in the development of the financial market.
And how does TradeFi make money?
You want me to reveal the trade secret?
All right, we're gonna have to bring you back for that. That's okay. If it's a trade secret, we're gonna let you keep that. But thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank you,
here.
Bella. Thank
We
you,
look forward
Veronica.
to having you back again, and
Yes.
hopefully tell us
We
more
will
about
have you
TradeFi.
back.
Yeah,
love to
this
come
is
back.
exciting. I think this is exciting. I think these are things that get more and more people engaged in the investment culture and in investing. So well done, and
Thank you.
thank
Thank you very much.